While playing Captain Tsubasa, I was working my way through an outline for this audio track. In about 20 minutes, I thought I had my general thrust. Basically, conceptually interesting but deeply flawed. Then something happened around my third match. I started really getting into it. When I was cheering after a particularly cool-looking goal, I knew there was something special in Captain Tsubasa. Captain Tsubasa was an extremely popular comic and cartoon about a kid who loved to play soccer. And it wasn't just popular in Japan, it was shown around the world and was a big hit pretty much everywhere except the US. This game was released right as the comic was ending its run. It was initially scheduled to come out in 1986, though I strongly doubt whatever game they were working on for a 1986 release looked like this. Rather than try to capture the action of a sport that has 22 players on the field at the same time, Captain Tsubasa is a strategy game. The game clock runs while the player has possession of the ball and is moving around the field. You're not really controlling the player at the top of the screen, though. What you're doing is controlling the dot on the soccer pitch below it. All of the players have 3 offensive stats and 3 defensive stats. And these stats correspond to each other. There's one for dribbling, how well you do it, or how well you can steal from someone. A stat for passing, or for how well you can intercept a pass. And a stat for shooting, or how well you can block that shot. All of the characters have stamina as well, and that decreases while they have possession of the ball. If someone's worn down, they won't perform as well, so have them pass the ball to somebody who isn't as tired. As you're dribbling the ball upfield, you can press the A button to interrupt, and then you can shoot or pass immediately. Or you might find yourself confronted by a number of players from the opposing team. In these situations, you press left to select pass, up to select dribble, or right to select shoot. And if you select pass, you're given the choice of 4 players you could send the ball to. One of the biggest weaknesses of Captain Tsubasa is that you can't see the positions of the other players on the field unless you bring up one of these menus. When you find yourself confronted by a large group, it still might be worth it to shoot rather than try to pass or dribble. If you're far back, they're unlikely to attempt to block a shot, and you could get the ball pretty far upfield and then work to recover it. Obviously, the best thing in Captain Tsubasa are the dramatic action shots for gameplay. The animation is admittedly a bit limited, but it does allow for some cool moments. If you pass the ball to somebody close to the goal, then instead of receiving it, you might get the option to take a shot, and that will cause them to do a special move that has a better chance of making it past the goalkeeper. As for your goalie, when your opponents make a shot, you get 2 options for how to defend the goal. You could try to grab the ball, or you can try to knock it away. Knocking it away has a higher chance of success usually. Even if it makes it past the goalie, the ball could bounce off one of the posts. At halftime, you have the ability to chat with your team members. You could pick out any character from the show and find out how they're feeling. In between matches, when you're in the locker room, you can get a password that will let you continue. Captain Tsubasa is a pretty long game, and you'll have to win a lot of soccer matches before you complete it. So that password is absolutely necessary. A big weakness of Captain Tsubasa is Tsubasa himself. His stats are about twice as high as every other character, and as a result, a lot of the game can come down to get the ball to Tsubasa, and he can walk it into the goal. It seems like this disparity will improve a little bit because there's a linear stat growth that occurs in between matches. So effectively, stat increases on your weaker characters are twice as effective as stat increases on Tsubasa. But he's still going to be your strongest character by far at the end of the game. As you might expect for such a popular property, there are a lot of Captain Tsubasa games. However, only one more was released on the Famicom. This game was also released in the US, though since nobody knew who Captain Tsubasa was here, they didn't use the license. Instead, all of the characters are redrawn, and it was released as Tecmo Cup Soccer. I can't say I think Captain Tsubasa is a great game. It's just a little bit too simple, and there's a few minor flaws that I think bring it down. But I can see why this is a very popular game in Japan. Captain Tsubasa is one of the most beloved Famicom games, and it's very easy to get into it. I'm actually looking forward to playing the sequel since I think it addresses most of my complaints.